So Pablo Torre is the 50 Cent of journalism. Pablo, anything you need from me, baby. We're all here for you. We got your back. You reach out.
So here's the thing.
Are you smarter than an NFL QB? What do you know about the world of bird watching? Colognes and perfumes by celebrities, or Bill Belichick's Airbnb? Girl, you might as well tell me now. As Pablo Torre finds out, no doubt. You can't hide the truth from me, girl. You might as well tell me now. As Pablo Torre finds out, no doubt. Yeah. You can't hide the truth from me. Is Giannis missing free throws for free chicken? Is our next president an alien and Russell Wilson? Why does the FBI director play so much hockey? Was Malik Beasley gambling before Milwaukee? Wanna hear about the NFLPA or salaries in the WNBA? The Knicks failed LeBron recruitment tape. Did you know that TRL was fake? Girl, you might as well tell me now. As Pablo Torre finds out, no doubt. You can't hide the truth from me, girl. You might as well tell me now.
Jeff Pearlman is not Ron Perlman, much to Tony's chagrin and disappointment. But Jeff Pearlman is a 17-time author. All his books are great, exhaustively reported. And, Tony, I may be able to get you interested here. His next one's on Tupac. So when he writes about stuff, he digs in really deep, talks to a whole bunch of people. And I wanted to get him on because I saw episode 2 last night of the Cowboys doc, and I felt some of the NFL video influence on this a little bit. And it was a little softer than I thought we were headed. I'm sure the bad stuff is up ahead, but I have not seen the entirety of the documentary. I have read the entirety of Jeff Pearlman's book on the Cowboys, which I assume is the starting point on how it is that they're doing this documentary. So, Jeff, thank you for joining us. Always enjoy your work. Also enjoy his YouTube stuff where he's a master storyteller, so he's doing some good and fun and creative stuff on YouTube as well. But what was your take here, Jeff? Have you seen the entire documentary? Does it ring authentic on some of the stuff you were reporting about?
I mean, it definitely rings authentic if you believe Jerry Jones is the greatest thing to ever happen to football, and nothing better has ever happened to football than Jerry Jones, who's the greatest thing to ever happen to football. So if that is your stance, 100% yes.
All right, so what's flawed about what's seems like universally celebrated, but I would have guessed probably pales in comparison to your book?
You know, I guess it's a couple of things. I'm not saying it's not entertaining or good TV. I think early on they way undersell Jimmy Johnson's impact, in particular the Herschel Walker trade, which is skimmed over, but which is the trade that completely and totally remade the franchise. And number one, you would think it was Jerry Jones's idea, and you would think it was Jerry Jones's implementation, when 99.9% of everything that happened with that trade was Jimmy Johnson and then Mike Lynn, the Vikings general manager, screwing up. And also number two, and a small thing that they skipped over completely that I was surprised, is they talk about Troy Aikman's arrival in Dallas, and they leave out completely that same year there was a supplemental draft where the Dallas Cowboys took Steve Walsh, Jimmy Johnson's quarterback, out of Miami, and they had this challenge, this head-to-head challenge that Walsh was winning, and that Jimmy Johnson really wanted Troy Aikman to feel uncomfortable and feel challenged by Steve Walsh. And then they flipped Steve Walsh to the Saints for all these more picks. Another thing that Jimmy Johnson did, completely and totally left out of the whole thing. And since I'm on a little rant, I will say lastly, I didn't need $1 for this. I didn't need attention. I didn't need to be in it. But I do feel like we live in an age where intellectual property is being completely ignored, and nobody really seems to care that there's a source material for stuff. And it's never, AI is doing this all the time with books now, where it just gobbles up books, spits out the information. You don't even know where it came from. And I do feel like there is a lot of stuff in this series that originated with my reporting.
All right, so that I may offer some of this to the audience, because all of his books are excellent, but one of the things that he did in his Cowboys book that floored me, because when I was reading it, I'm like, wait a minute, what happened here with the Cowboys, and how does no one know about this? Michael Irvin basically should have been charged with attempted murder on a teammate, because he went after an offensive lineman with a pair of scissors and just got him near the jugular, like arguing over seniority and haircuts. Should have been charged with murder from the reporting of Jeff Pearlman. How do they attack this story on Netflix? Because like I said, I have not gotten to the other 6 parts of this story, but the content dilution of Hollywood makes this stuff so in exchange for access, you get diluted versions of the story. This story I only read in your book. I didn't know how you got anybody to talk about this.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been attempted murder, not murder, because Everett McIver, the lineman he stabbed in the neck with the scissors, did not die. And originally in the local Dallas newspapers, it was reported as there was this mishap and there was this exchange and blah, 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 but everyone's okay. And I had, I think it was Kevin Smith, the Cowboy defensive back, who said to me first, he's like, you know about the scissors, right? And I'm like, not really. He's like, oh, you need to know about the scissors. And then I kept talking to people, and basically Michael Irvin, Everett McIver, an offensive lineman on the team, is sitting in a barber chair in training camp, and they bring in Vinny the barber to cut hair. And Michael Irvin walks in, and McIver's in the seat, and Michael Irvin says, seniority. And McIver's like, I'm in the seat. He's like, yo, seniority. And Everett McIver's not a rookie at this point. And all the other guys in the room are like, yo, Everett, don't leave the chair. Don't leave the chair. And Irvin's like, get the F out of the chair. And Everett McIver stands up, shoves Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin shoves him back, grabs Vinny's barber scissors, stabs Everett McIver in the neck. Everett McIver falls to the floor, bleeding out of his neck. They rush in paramedics, and part of the deal, ultimately, because Michael Irvin was already on probation, is if he gets caught for this, he is going to prison. This is a clear violation of probation once you get charged.
Probably.
You think?
And I'm just being honest. I'm not, you'll never hear me like I wrote a book about the 86 Mets. ESPN did a 30 for 30. They interviewed me at length. It was a beautiful project. I was really happy with it. I didn't make a dime. I don't care about making a dime, but I reported the hell out of that. I spent weeks of my life reporting on that. And when a documentary comes along and doesn't add all credit source material, just as an author and speaking for other authors, it does bother you a little bit, just being honest.
It's okay. I was laughing more at the idea that Michael Irvin would have violated his probation by trying to stab a teammate in the neck with scissors in the jugular.
It was a moment.
Well, does the documentary feel sanitized to you? Or like when you say you're on a rant, do you feel like you're getting an honest version, or you're just simply getting what Jerry Jones wants us to eat as part of his marketing and propaganda arm?
I feel there's they did a lot of amazing work with the footage. They did an amazing work with a lot of the guys they had come and sit down. Steve Berline is interviewed. I mean, that was a random and interesting poll. Charles Haley sat down. You don't see him do that many interviews. Like they definitely did the work. Like, to give them credit, they gave the work. They did the work. They put in an entertaining documentary. I just think Jerry Jones, like, the Cowboys have not won in 30 years. They haven't sniffed a Super Bowl in 30 years. And this idea, here's a success story of the NFL because his franchise is worth a ton of money and Jerry Jones is worth a ton of money and he got his family involved, when the number one problem with the Cowboys for the last decade at least is that Jerry Jones is making all the decisions and he's never been good at making football decisions. And that feels very, very sanitized. Just being honest.
Jeff, is there anyone that you weren't able to get on the record when you wrote Boys Will Be Boys that maybe this series is going to have? Have you seen?
Sure. I didn't get Aikman. Trey Aikman wouldn't talk to me. So I didn't get Trey Aikman. So that was, and he's a big part of it. And he's great in the series. Again, they got a lot of really good people. They got Emmett, they got Aikman, they got Irvin, they got Haley, they got Jerry, they got Switzer, and they got Jimmy. Like, they did their work. I give them much credit for that. So it's not about that, to be honest.
And I don't want to discredit them there, Jeff, but when Jerry Jones signs up for the story of his life while he feels like he's overcoming cancer and says, hey, one last time, let's tell this story, of course everyone's going to participate, just like Apple and Kraft got everyone to participate there. What did you make of the way the story is told? Because what I was saying yesterday is, it seemed like Jerry Jones, in his own documentary, with good amount of control over what he was doing, decided to give Jimmy Johnson more credit than Bob Kraft was giving Bill Belichick in the 10-part series they did.
Yeah, no, he gave Jimmy Johnson credit. I just think, honestly, God, if we're all being honest here, Jerry Jones is very wise to buy the Cowboys. It's a great investment. Interestingly, Donald Trump, when Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys, Donald Trump said he overpaid and the franchise is never going to be worth what he thought, which I always thought was funny. He deserves a lot of credit for buying the franchise. None of Jimmy Johnson, everything Jimmy Johnson did was masterful. Like, everything. To be honest, if you want to do a documentary about this era, it should be called How Jimmy Johnson Changed the Franchise. and everything he did, from the Herschel trade to the Steve Walsh trade, everything he did, the pressure on players. And Jerry Jones was a really savvy owner who put a lot of money into the franchise and has made himself an uber billionaire. But the football story itself is Jimmy Johnson, wise drafts, savvy trades.
Jeff, do people understand how crazy Charles Haley was?
No. I mean, in the way I feel bad, I have actually said it in the past that I feel like in a lot of ways, that's one part of my book that I have some regret over, because he was battling severe mental illness and I just wasn't mature enough or smart enough when I was writing that book to really delve into it. But he was a guy who during meetings he was pleasuring himself during meetings. He shows up and he's under a blanket listening to whoever's giving a talk, pleasuring himself. And also they touched on this a little bit, which I thought was good. His ruthlessness toward teammates, the cruelty he used to bring toward teammates. Chad Hennings, an old defensive lineman, was a really good example. Like, he could just be ruthlessly mean and also as wildly unpredictable as you can find.
Did you feel or see any sanitizing, Jeff? Did they talk about the mental illness involving pleasuring himself in meetings? Like what? Because I saw a little bit of what they did with Charles Haley, and they went around the fringes of it, and they did say he urinated on an assistant coach's desk. He tried to fight a head coach, but the Charles Haley stories were legendary well beyond that.
Yeah, no, actually, it's funny. I just saw this. My favorite Haley story, and it's kind of light humor, is when the Dallas Mavericks drafted Jamal Mashburn, and Jamal Mashburn comes to town and they give him a tour of the Cowboy facility to meet the Cowboys, just a PR thing. And if you remember, Jamal Mashburn used to have a gap between his teeth, like kind of a pronounced gap. And Jamal Mashburn is walking through the Cowboys locker room, and all of a sudden he hears someone, and it's Charles Haley, scream out in front of everyone. Jamal Mashburn's probably 21 years old. "Hey, Jamal, now that you're making that NBA money, how about getting your teeth fixed?" And like Jamal Mashburn just feels like vanishing into the carpet. They definitely went light on Haley with the Cowboys because Haley was, crazy.
One of the great all-time lunatics of all time in that sport, correct? And I say that, and no, we did not cover with great grace his mental illness, but his talent, what he made people endure was far beyond the pale on sports was not equipped to deal with his kind of crazy.
No, he was a very, 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 very difficult teammate. And when you were adding him to your franchise, and he would probably acknowledge this now, when you added Charles Haley to your franchise, you were making a concession that our locker room is either mature enough or insulated enough that we can deal with this.
Jeff, what were some of the best examples of Switzer just not having control of that team?
Oh my God. I like when he showed up before when they played the Steelers in the Super Bowl. I think it was Super Bowl 30. And he's out getting wasted at these parties. It was a very thing Jimmy Johnson was like, "Look, we're not going to do this." He was out there dancing with the players, dancing with women, fooling around. Like the whole week leading up to the game, he was on this wild, I'm just going to live my life. I love how I actually think Barry Switzer is one of the best characters in sports. And I'm not saying he was a good NFL coach, but I just think he put it all out there and lived that way. And he was 58 years old, drinking like his players, partying like his players, fooling around like his players, just living the life leading up to the Super Bowl with this real mentality. I'm probably never going to get here again, so I'm damn well going to enjoy it. Is
there anything new to uncover from this period of time in this documentary, Jeff? Like you've already told the story, so are you saying you've seen the whole thing? You're saying it's a pale reflection of the real story as you described it exhaustively in your book?
Yeah, I mean I don't want to dog it. It's a very entertaining documentary because that story is entertaining and they got amazing footage and they did the interviews. I don't want to suggest it's not worth watching. It's a very good and enjoyable documentary. But is there new revealing? Holy cow, I didn't know that. I didn't really get much of that, but others might.
I want to talk to you about your Tupac book in a second, but I was wondering, you are a very good ombudsman on bad behavior in the media and where it is media can be compromised. You're old school in a number of different ways. I've been trying to find somebody who can discuss with me intelligently the idea that ESPN has just sold 10% stake to the NFL and the NFL Network. You received that news and thought what?
I thought it checks with everything that's going on with modern media right now. I mean, it's the same, if you think about it, it's the same thing with the documentaries we're getting now, even The Last Dance and this new one, where there's always someone with control of the message. And it used to be, I mean, Dan, you and I have been in the business a long time. Like it used to be, you were the final word, right? ESPN, we're going to cover you, but we're going to write honestly about you. And it really, perception is just as strong as reality, if not stronger. So if ESPN is now not doing much about CTE, as an example, is that because of this cross ties with the NFL? Has the NFL put pressure on them? Is the NFL saying, look, we'll give you this, but we want you to lay off of head injuries in sports? The look of it is terrible, just absolutely terrible. And it just suggests that there's very little, if any, independent media anymore.
Okay, so what do you imagine is the truth around Spike Lee's documentary on Colin Kaepernick getting spiked and the timing of all of that when it comes to simply what's happening here ends up getting truth diluted by powerful entities? And, Jeff, I don't think people care.
That's the worst part of it. I actually, it's interesting. I used to work for a Bleacher Report. This is where, to me, my birth for me personally, I used to work for Bleacher Report, and you would write these 8,000, 9,000, keep called BR Mag, and you would write these long, long pieces, and it was great, and it was awesome, and it felt like old SI, old ESPN. It was only like 5 years ago. And then I think at some point they realized, wait, why are we spending money on quality journalists doing quality journalism when we could just put up an interview with an NBA player where we ask him softball questions? And I just think that's where we are. Colin Kaepernick, it's not worth the heat. It's not worth the heat they're going to probably get from someone with the White House. It's not worth the heat they're probably going to get from the NFL. It's just not worth it for them. The bang for the buck, as they view it, it's just not there. And the thing is, I remember when I was a young writer at Sports Illustrated, and SI would do stuff just because it was the right story to do. Like, this is an important story. We're going to throw everything at it. We're going to put Ken Caminetti on the cover of the magazine talking about steroids in baseball. Even though Major League Baseball is going to be pissed off about this, we're going to do it because it's a right decision to make. And now there's so much overlapping between corporate and editorial that stuff like that almost never happens.
Only God Can Judge Me. The Many Lives of Tupac Shakur is available for pre-order now. I don't know why you would tackle this degree of difficulty on your reporting on something. This is a trough that so many people have been at. How did you do it better and differently than the others?
First, I want to say the song you played at the beginning of this segment, it was very Tupac. I think Tupac would have 100% approved and probably jumped in for a verse on that. So that was really good.
If Pablo Torre finds out, I suspect not, probably.
Yeah,
unless it were
maybe not.
Probably not near the crossword puzzles if Pablo Torre finds out.
I just always thought there was a definitive book of the. I love Tupac as an artist. And what I did differently, I interviewed 650 people. I traveled to everywhere he lived. I knocked on doors of everyone he knew. I sat down with his sister. I sat down with his godmother. I just lived it for 3 years because I really, really wanted to tell not an estate sanitized story, not a story that's, been regurgitated. I just really wanted to get into his life and understand him. And that was for 3 years, that was my obsession.
Dan, I think that was fitty.
It was fitty.
Just saying.
Very nice.
Wasn't Lil Yachty from your...
Lol Yachty.
Jeff, thank you for being on with us. We appreciate the time. I am sure that book is going to be good. 650 has to be a record for you. Come on, 650 is absurd. That's 200 more than are necessary. No?
Yeah.
That's a record for you, is it not?
No, I did. I always keep track. I did 720 for Bo Jackson, I think. So.
Okay, there's something wrong with you.
I have no life.
Yeah, thank you. Good seeing you. I will tell the audience one more time. His YouTube storytelling is magnificent. If you want just some old timey truths, I appreciate the work you do, sir. Always have.
All right, thanks, Dan. Take care.
Look, every crew's got roles. On a team, on a group text, at a watch party. You've got the stat nerd, the vibes guy, the one who thinks they're the coach, and then there's the real MVP, the person that brings the cooler. And what's in that cooler? If it's not Miller Lite, I'm checking the roster. It's the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite. 50 years of showing up in big moments. Post-game tailgates, NBA watch parties, road trips to road games where you swore the refs were out to get you. Through it all, that clean, crisp Miller Lite taste just gets it done. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs. It's light, but it doesn't tap out early. You're over there arguing over who the GOAT is, shouting about NIL deals. Someone's grilling. Miller Lite is always there, playing its role to perfection. Brewed for taste, simple ingredients, a legend since 1975, and still a first ballot Hall of Famer in my cooler. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
That's right. It's Thursday Thunder, and it's presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Juju, what's up?
What's happening? Congratulations to everybody who made $1 billion last week on Thursday Thunder. Straight through the nets. A winner. You feel me? And guess what? We gonna replicate that again tonight.
Congratulations, Juju. Finally, after so many 2 and 3s, you won one. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. First leg, we going with Emma Mieseman for over 5.5 rebounds tonight against the Chicago Sky. Lock it in. Second leg, we gonna stick with that same game, because the Liberty, they just locked up in a couple vicious battles with the number 1 team in the league, the Minnesota Lynx. So I think my sister Jonquel Jones, she gonna take it easy tonight, man. Big dubs, man. The big way. We gonna go under on Jonquel Jones tonight, 15.5 points. Lock it in. And the last leg, we going to Las Vegas, Nevada, with my sister, Asia Wilson. They got the Mercury coming in town, and they gonna need her to get them rebounds. You dig it? So we going over 11.5 rebounds on Asia Wilson.
Thank you. The alarm is back. Let me just do a little bit of cleaning up around here and bring up something I should have brought up a lot earlier today and did not, to my epic failure. Happy 106th birthday to Sister Jean. Chris Cody, do you have back there the Sister Jean happy birthday she imaging? Because I've only got the male version over here.
Happy birthday to her. I don't care. Good luck.
Also, Dan, the oldest person alive turned 116 today.
116?
10 years. Sister Jean is 10 years behind. She's never going to catch up.
Feels like Sister Jean has 2 birthdays a year, right? Like,
No.
I feel like we're always telling her happy
You
birthday.
rolled your eyes at Sister Jean's birthday. Why did you do that?
Well, because of that. We were talking about it here before, and I think every single person in this room agreed. She's just like, we're celebrating her birthday 2 or 3 times a year. Like, it seems as though we're just making up birthdays.
I don't know why you would go negative on Sister Jean's birthday.
I'm not. I'm happy for her. Good for her. I don't want to get to 106. Good for her, though.
Ethel Caterham, 116. She lives in England.
England? Oh, my God. Imagine living 116 years in England.
Oh, brutal.
We can't be making Ethels anymore, right? We failed in not talking about Paige Bueckers today in all of the stuff that we were talking about, Juju. She was amazing last night.
Yes, sir, bruh. 44 points on 17 of 21 in a great game where I thought they could have pulled that game out at the end, but they had a couple of turnovers by a couple of people. Pardon me. By a couple of people. I'm drowning right now.
All right, that's
I'm gonna need somebody to say
we
something.
We got $10. Let's we've got 7 people around here to jump in and rescue.
I just
Juju
couldn't
as he
believe
drowns
watching
in his
her,
own phlegm.
watching the highlight from last night, because I didn't have a chance to watch it all live. There were a couple of plays in there that were some of the most remarkable ball handling that I've seen in that league. I mean, she went behind the back with like a hezzy to get into the paint. And she had the most points by a rookie in WNBA history. First player in league history with 40-plus points on 80% field goals or better. Highest scoring game this year. Ridiculous game from her. I mean, truly amazing, Juju.
Right. It was the efficiency for me as well. It's like timely buckets. She was going back to back with Rakia Jackson for a while. Then Rakia kind of gave out, and Kelsey Plum took over the game, which we got to salute the big dog, OG Kelsey Plum, game winner at the buzzer. That's all that mattered, getting the dub. But Paige is doing something that I don't think I've seen in my adult life a rookie do. Just be able to take over an entire game.
Zaslow, can I get a ruling here on whether or not, and a judge ruling on whether or not Jeremy Taché can use hezi because he's in a big hurry on hesitation instead of saying
Real
hesitation?
Hoopers know.
Jonathan Zaslow now presiding with prejudice.
No respect. You guys got to stand up.
Jeremy Taché, is he allowed to use the word hezi? I'm allow it.
Really?
I'm allow it.
Hoopers know.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Look at the hesitation move.
That'd be crazy.
What are you doing?
You already get mad at
Prejudice
me for being a broadcaster voice.
I'm asking for a ruling.
What a hesitation move.
I got a ruling. But hezi, because you don't want to use the tation, you're in a big hurry, and so
It's called a hezi.
Because it's called a hezi, Dan.
Okay.
Really?
It's a hezi, Dan. No.
All right, so
It's a hezi.
All right,
And with
Juju-
that hezi with that Kelsey Plum made at the end of the game, it also eliminated Dallas and Chicago from playoff contention already. So that loss was bigger than we thought. You feel me? Salute to Paige. She the rookie of the year though. Locked it in.
Before we get to pitch clock here, I want to update some polls. But what do you have for me on a video that we did not get to during the show of a car crashing through a restaurant on a streaming couple?
Right. I feel like never has there been an easier layup for a lawsuit or whatever the case is that they're going to get. I seen them on CNN. They were streaming, if you don't know out there, tasting food. And all of a sudden, a car crashes through the window on the couple live. Man, what would y'all do in that scenario? Like, what would be your first move or first call?
So you guys are going straight to the lawsuit portion of this. You're not the surprise of it alludes. You're going straight to strategic cashing in. Okay.
Neck brace. Next time you see me on stream, I'm like,
Unsurprisingly, my childhood best friend is a lawyer. He's the first person I'm calling.
So all of you think you're going to react that quickly to a car crashing into your dinner without hezi.
thank you.
Also, Ron Perlman was also the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, wasn't he? And he looked just like the Beast. Like, I think this was
There's
an
never
early
been a
TV
head
show.
like this. We're agreeing on this? Are all of us saying flatly, are we universally discovering at the same time? The reason we know and love Ron Perlman is because he's got a flat face unlike any head in the history of cinema.
No, I have to correct you, Nancy Reagan.
Oh.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Did Nancy Reagan have a face as long as Ron Perlman's?
We don't have to put that one up.
Juju's got it. Better head. Do that.
Whoa.
Better head. Ron Perlman or Nancy Reagan.
We don't have to do
There
that
you
either.
go.
I can't believe you told a Nancy Reagan blowjob joke.
Oh, come on, Dan.
I can't believe you just got it.
That is him as the Beast.
Spitting image.
What are
Much
the
of the
polls
same.
today before we get to pitch clock here, Juju? What are the polls we have to update?
Yes, sir. Right before the post. Also, congratulations to the fake Justin Bieber who got to perform in front of an entire club, got paid and everything. Not even Justin Bieber.
Didn't Charlotte Flair get caught taking a picture with fake Justin Bieber?
Tough luck.
Yeah.
Very tough look.
Of course, you know
Do
the
you
wrestling angle to that.
Dork. Who said that?
Do you like double entendres? 78% of the audience says yes, they do.
Of course.
Who voted no there?
All right. Is Penn State ever really the number 2 team in the country? 92% of the audience says no, they are not. Damn. James Franklin. Pshaw.
I mean, what is that?
Right. Only time I ever heard Pshaw was on a TV show called Ghosts, which is a guilty pleasure of mine. I watched the entire TV show called Ghosts. Salute to Ghosts. But 81% of the audience says yes, Pshaw to James Franklin. And the last poll, bigger part of your Saturday mornings growing up, Bugs Bunny or Lee Corso? 56% of the audience says Lee Corso, and those are your polls.